The dawning of the new millennium has seen the emergence of extraordinary technical engineering innovations. Welcome to the debut of BattleBots.
Hi, I'm Y2K2, BattleBot mascot. We're in Vegas, baby. The entertainment capital of the world. And we want to show you just how much fun we can have. It's time to kick butt. Robot. It's the BattleBots
World Championship.
City of Las Vegas has seen many visitors, but perhaps none like these. 28 of the most fascinating and captivating looking robots, along with their creators, have made the journey from as far away as the United Kingdom to showcase their amazing capacity for destruction, where the goal is survival. Standing room only crowd on hand at the All-American Sports Park in Las Vegas, Nevada, to witness the first official BattleBot World Championship.
Welcome. Now it's time to introduce you to my human colleagues set to call today's action. Larry Michael and Dan Danknick.
And welcome to the new millennium and welcome to the sport of the future, BattleBots. I'm Larry Michael, this is Dan Danknick, our expert commentator. What you will see tonight, high-tech, state-of-the-art robotic devices with a simple goal in mind: take home the World Championship, and to do it, they must destroy the competition. We'll see weaponry, speed, force. Dan, we've got some great matchups.
Yes, Larry, we're going to see some amazingly powerful hydraulic crushers out there in arena that should just devastate some of the opposition.
Now, some of these machines are absolutely frightening, but looks can be deceiving. The more frightening the BattleBot, maybe not the stronger BattleBot. What's the key to victory here?
Frequently, the key is exceptional driving skill. That allows a competitor to deploy a weapon on a target or evade an opponent's attack.
Years of research and development, the time has come. It's time for the debut of the BattleBots.
Two individual championships will be determined tonight: the heavyweights, which weigh up to 315 pounds, and the super heavyweights, which weigh up to 488 pounds. At the weigh-in, every eligible contestant was required to put his robot on the scale to make sure it fit the appropriate weight category. Although built for destructive intent, each bot was carefully monitored and inspected to make certain that its built-in weapons conform to the strict safety standards and guidelines set forth by BattleBot officials.
We'll need to see it with the engine running, verify that you can shut it down, verify that
Security and protection of the live audience and the robot operators is paramount. Forbidden weapons include any discharge heat, liquids, explosives, electricity, visual obstructions, entanglement devices, and untethered projectiles. All kinds of other weapons are fair game.
Take a look at the BattleBox itself, specially constructed for this event. The builder of this unique structure, Peter Lambertson.
The size of the BattleBox is 48 feet by 48 feet, and it's 22 feet high. For safety reasons, we designed the BattleBox with a 1-inch thick Lexan plastic. It's a steel-plated floor, so the robots cannot penetrate through the floor. And the reason why it's 2 feet off the ground, if you look underneath here, you'll see our weaponry. These are our carbide spikes. When the robots go over them, these tips are so hard that they'll punch right through their body armor and destroy the inside of their units. We have 3 carbide tip blades that are 18-inch in diameter, double-cutting carbide bits. And what these bits will do is just chew up the bottom of the robot into a lot of little pieces. We have these carbide tip spikes that go all the way around the arena. And these spikes here will take any type of penetration right through a robot and disarm it.
Time to take a look at the rules of BattleBots. Each match is up to 3 minutes in length. The robot can advance to the next round by winning in one of 2 ways. First, by incapacitating the opposing robot so it's unable to move, or by receiving more points on the judges' scorecards. Here's how points are awarded for a match. There are 3 judges. Each judge awards 3 points for a total of 9 overall points. 1 point each is awarded to the robot judge to be more aggressive, that causes more damage, and that executes the better strategy. 3 judges for this inaugural BattleBot competition: Bob Pitzer from Phoenix, Arizona, Gary Klein from Novato, California, and Dr. Joanne Pransky from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, who is acknowledged as the first ever robot psychiatrist. Preliminary rounds in the heavyweight division have already taken place earlier. Some powerful, exciting action. Let's check out some of the highlights. It was #1 rated Biohazard taking on Frenzy. Biohazard with a low center of gravity trying to get up and under Frenzy. Frenzy with the titanium battle axe trying to do damage to the top part of Biohazard, but in the end, Biohazard flips Frenzy and Biohazard advances. It was Vlad the Impaler taking on a very strong Killerhurtz 2. Vlad the Impaler took over 2,000 hours to build. That drag racing forklift up front impales Killerhurtz 2, delivers a very strong blow to the side of the battle box. Still impaled, Vlad the Impaler rams Killerhurtz 2 again, and pieces fly. Vlad the Impaler very fast, very maneuverable, setting up Killerhurtz 2 for a final shot up on its side. Vlad the Impaler does a victory dance. Nightmare took on Namrico 3000. Nightmare and Team Hercules with that spinning metal disc. That metal disc spinning up to 300 miles an hour, ripping one of the saw blades off the body of Namrico 3000, disabling it. That blade keeps on moving at 300 miles an hour. Another run at Namrico, looking to rip the top right off the robot. Nightmare ripping the head off of Namrico 3000 to advance. Rhino took on Ronin. Rhino with that very powerful battering ram doing some damage to the interior of Ronin. Ronin's primary weapon, the sword, could not do damage to the powerfully built Rhino. Rhino takes home the decision win, 8-1 over Ronin. Other heavyweight preliminary action, a very tight matchup between Tazbot and Mortis. Mortis with that piercing blade trying to do damage to Tazbot, which elevates Mortis. The builder of Mortis, Rob Knight, looking for an answer, trying to maneuver his robot in position. He does, delivering some devastating blows to the upper part of Tazbot. Mortis wins 6-3. It was Voltarc taking on Razor. Razor, one of the entries from the United Kingdom. Voltarc with an articulated lifting arm, taking Razor up on its side and scoring points. Razor has 9 tons of hydraulic crush in that beak, trying to pierce the body of Voltarc. It was unsuccessful. Voltarc advances with a 7-2 win. Malicious Mischief battled Killerhurtz. Mischief has Daniel Rupert, a high school teacher from San Diego, California, at the controls. But it was Killerhurtz out of the UK doing some serious damage with brute force. The axe of Killerhurtz slams at 1 ton of pressure, but he didn't need it in this battle. Mischief up against the side of the battle box. Killerhurtz runs back, hammers him again. Killerhurtz advances with a 7-2 win. Finally, it was one of the favorites, Blendo, the spinning disc taking on the wedge-shaped Punjar. Punjar using brute force. Blendo looking to clip and cut the opposition. Big-time collision sends Blendo flying to the side of the battle box. Punjar, another damaging blow. The builder, Ramiro Malari, looking on intently, working. Another powerful blow to Blendo, who is incapacitated. Jaime Heinemann, the builder of Blendo, says no mas. The upset, Punjar, victorious, knocking out Blendo. So the quarterfinals have been set. Looking for a shot at the semis. It will be Biohazard taking on Vlad the Impaler. Nightmare goes up against Rhino. Mortis squares off against Voltarc, and Punjar, looking for another upset, goes up against Killerhurtz. Working with us tonight in the pits and with the competitors is Lewis Johnson.
Hey, Larry, you're looking at lots of intelligence, cables, wiring. This is Killerhurtz in from the United Kingdom, and this is the pit, the place that everybody has parked and made home as they've traveled in from all over the country and from around the world. You might call this the MASH unit for robots. This is where the creators fix and tinker and do whatever they need to do to get their robots back in business. It'll become a battle zone later as a robot wins his competition, maybe sustains heavy damage, and then he has only 20 minutes to come out here and get it fixed. They may use things such as simple as gaffer's tape, hammers, wire cutters, all those types of things, and other electronic devices that cost thousands of dollars. Hey, what happens if a team doesn't have the parts they need? Do other team members jump in and help them out? We'll see all that happen right back here in the pit, Larry.
We are ready for our first live live matchup. First of all, in the red corner, it will be Biohazard going up against Vlad the Impaler in the blue box. Let's go to Mark Barrow.
Introducing the principals first in the red square to my right. From Belmont, California, in the heavyweight division, weighing in at 206.5 pounds with a ranking of #1 and creator Carlo Bettocchini. Here is the current heavyweight champion, Biohazard. His quarterfinals opponent in the blue square from Oakland, California, in the heavyweight division, weighing in at 202 pounds with a ranking of #5 from the creator, Gage Koshwa, and from team supporters, Vlad Meisters, introducing Vlad the Impaler.
All right, these robots have been powered up. They are ready to go. In the red square, we have the #1 ranked, the world champion Biohazard. And what makes that robot so tough?
Larry, it is so well built out of space-age alloys, and it's a bear to beat.
The opponent in the blue square coming off a robot knockout himself, Vlad the Impaler, with that strong forklift up front. And the builder of Vlad, Gage Koshwa, describes that weapon.
It has a CO2 canister on the robot that operates 2 spears in front, which are, it's like a forklift. They are on the ground and they're sharpened and they go under the opponent, and then you flip a switch and they lift up, and they lift the opponent up on its side, and then you just hit the throttle and it just sort of bowls over the opponent. It works really well.
All right, let's get this battle started. Let's go to Y2K2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kickbox.
Vlad the Impaler coming out slowly. Big time collision to get this thing started. And Biohazard has been lifted up by Vlad the Impaler. Oh my God, the side of the box. Quick start for Vlad the Impaler.
Some excellent driving by Vlad. Straight off.
Oh, there. Biohazard got clipped by those roller saw blades.
Biohazard taking a beating.
Big time damage out to Biohazard by the blades.
He may not be able to flip himself back over.
He has that capability. Here he is now. Once again, Spikes doing some damage to Biohazard, who's in deep trouble right now.
And Vlad getting lined up for another round.
Big time destruction on our opening battle. Gage Koshwa, the driver of Vlad the Impaler, eyeing Biohazard right now. Biohazard is immobile. This battle might be over. Biohazard needs to show some signs of motion, some kind of movement. Vlad the Impaler eyeing another run at Biohazard. A sitting duck. This battle is over. This battle is over as Biohazard is disabled by Vlad the Impaler, who will advance to the semifinals.
Well, Vlad the Impaler, what an upset.
Came out to a quick start, got Biohazard sideways, and the world champion has been defeated. Start of this battle is what you have to watch. It didn't take long for Vlad the Impaler to take command.
They got right underneath those titanium skirts of Biohazard straight off, and it was all over from there.
You saw some pieces go flying, and then Vlad the Impaler got up and under Biohazard. Biohazard was absolutely helpless. Took him up against the side of the battle box. There you saw it. Then the telling blow, the telling move by Vlad the Impaler across the circular saws. Check it out. Oh my.
Those aerospace alloys are strong, but they sure do make nice sparks too.
Big time upset. Biohazard was the #1 ranked heavyweight robot. Biohazard has been defeated by Vlad the Impaler. The CompuBot stats have to be clearly in favor, yes they are, of Vlad the Impaler. 15-1 domination by Vlad.
Gage, it's been 4 years you've been trying to upset Biohazard. You knock out the #1 ranked guy. Your heart must be jumping out of your chest, huh?
I'm relaxing now. I feel better, yeah. It's a relief after all this time.
Talk about the strategy. You were able to get up under Biohazard, flip him, run him through the blades. It was exciting.
Well, it was exciting. I was just trying to, stay ahead of him and flip him, and I did. And then when he was on top of me, I threw it in reverse and ran him through the blades, and the blades cut through me, and I had new body armor from the last event, which I didn't have, and that helped. I took a few blows, but no damage, so
you're good for the next round then, right?
I'm good for the duration here.
All right, great. Good job, Gage. We'll see you in the next round. Larry, back to you.
Impressive, destructive performance by Vlad the Impaler, who advances to the semifinals in the heavyweight division. All right, the sparks are sure to fly in our next heavyweight matchup. It will be Rhino going up against Nightmare. And for the intros, let's go to Mark Barrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your next quarterfinals event. Introducing first in the red square to my right, from Sausalito, California, weighing in at 208 pounds with a #3 ranking, and from the creative mind of Alexander Rose and supported by Team Rhino, introducing Rhino. His opponent in the blue square from Abattoir, California, weighing in at 210.5 pounds with a #7 ranking, and from creator Jim Smentowski and supported by Team Hercules, introducing Nightmare.
Our next heavyweight robots have been activated. They're in the battle box. They are ready to go. In the red square, it is Rhino. Compressed gas battering ram is its strongest weapon, Dan.
It's a very tightly built robot, and I think it's going to easily tolerate some of the first hits from Nightmare.
This is going to be a violent matchup in the blue square, Nightmare. This is a very dangerous robot. In fact, the creator, Jim Smentowski, has doubled the power for this event. And while Smetowski is a professional effects expert in the movies, he says it doesn't take a pro to build a bot.
Anybody can do this, because it seems like everybody who watches this says, I can do that. It looks like something that I could do. And they think up an idea in their head and they, run it through their, the different possibilities of what it could do. Only a few people actually act on it and build it, because they think it's going to be too expensive, or they think that it's too difficult to work on. Well, I build everything on my robots in my garage with tools that you got from the hardware store. I don't have any special equipment, any considerable income to fund these things, so anybody can do this. I'm trying to prove this to, kids can do this. It's not a big deal for heavily sponsored or rich people to work with. Anybody is able to get in here.
We're ready to go. Let's get the word from Y2K2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's kick some butt.
Strategy here, Dan. Nightmare does not have unlimited power with that spinning wheel.
No, he does not. He needs to land his first hit as soon as possible to conserve his battery power.
That wheel on Nightmare spinning at 300 miles an hour.
And you see the strategy from Rhino. He's fleeing and he's able to constrain battery power.
More sparks fly as Nightmare, not a lithium on Rhino, has a laser sight for that pneumatic battery right in front of the smoke.
Robots are hard to drive, so that laser tells them where that pneumatic ram will land. Right into the tire he had.
Rhino maneuvering actually good strategy.
Pushing him into the saws now.
Nightmare very close, trying to come up from behind and push him in. The rotating power saws, the circular saws, trying to force him to the top. Just avoids the saws with those tires. Another beautiful, strong clipping shot by Rhino. Aggression, one of the key components, one of the judging components in this competition.
Yeah, there's actually ripped steel on the front of Rhino right now, but he's still moving.
To avoid that spinning front wheel of Nightmare. Again, just misses with that spike.
With a flat tire on Nightmare, limiting his maneuverability slightly.
Yes, the right tire of Nightmare has been flattened by Rhino as we approach the midway point in this battle. Nightmare eyeing Rhino. The strategy continues right here. What a strategy going on in this battle.
Yeah, and it appears that Nightmare is switching his weapon on and off to attempt to conserve battery.
Driven into the sauce. Rhino and the driver Alexander Rose. Rhino trying to avoid that spinning wheel.
The last thing Rhino wants to do is run into this wheel in the same place again. That would let it penetrate deeply into his body.
Defensive approach. Less than a minute to go in this battle. Quarterfinal action in the heavyweight division. Rhino just a little skittish of getting in front of that wheel.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Nightmare will spin on his left wheel any longer.
Nightmare running out of steam.
Definitely running out of energy.
Slightly with Rhino takes it on the run. There's that battering spike. Once again trying to get inside the roll line.
Trying to hit something sensitive.
15 seconds remaining.
Now they're locked up. They're jammed up right there on the floor of the battle box. Clock winding down. Nightmare with no power left on the wheel. The wheel seems to have been incapacitated at this point. 15 seconds to go. Several direct hits toward the end of this battle by Rhino.
Rhino's still moving.
Some abuse on that tire again. Rhino. One last pass. Rhino with the spin move. And this battle is over. A lot of strategy, a lot of driving ability exhibited by both Alexander Rose and Jim Smentowski of Nightmare and Rhino.
Exceptional strategy by Rhino, staying just out of reach of that weapon and coming in when he had the chance.
Rhino, the spike, not evident there, but you can see the damage of the steel in front of that robot that was inflicted by that wheel of Nightmare.
It certainly would have been worse if it wasn't a glancing shot in the geometry that it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 3 human judges at ringside have turned in a 7-2 decision for the winner in the red square, Rhino!
So Rhino gets the job done. Nightmare not using the full capabilities of that spinning metal disc that spins at over 300 miles an hour, and Rhino takes the decision. CompuBot stats at the conclusion of this heavyweight battle. Look at the damage done to Rhino. Rhino with the more hits and damaging the weapon of Nightmare to take the CompuBot stats 10-3 and also take home the victory in this quarterfinal action.
Hey, Reason, strategy was everything. Talk about how you were able to avoid Nightmare, the difficulty of driving from the position you're in.
Well, it was pretty tough lining up on him just to get his wheels like we were going for, but we got a good shot on his wheel and popped his tire. That was what we were going for. That was our main strategy. Then after that, we taken a couple hits on his saw and whatnot, and it worked out well. But he got a little piece of us too, which is all the fun. So.
Yeah, you've got 20 minutes to go back to the pit. I already hear you guys talking about charging batteries. Let's look at the damage here quick. What's happening here?
Pretty superficial. Basically, this is a protection piece, got peeled back a little bit, and our hardened steel ram actually snapped off when he hit us with it. So that was pretty impressive. We've got plenty of spare parts, so any luck we'll have them in there and be ready to go.
So Rhino advances, but it is a costly victory for Alexander Rose. Back to the pits, trying to repair that battering ram. Plenty of work to do for Rhino to get ready for the next matchup in the battle box. Heavyweights ready to go inside. It'll be Mortis against Voltarc. Let's get the introductions from Mark Barrow.
Introducing first in the red square to my right, from Croydon, Surrey, in the United Kingdom, weighing in at 195.5 pounds, from the creative mind of Rob Knight, and supported by the team of Random Violence Technology, introducing Mortis. opponent in the blue square from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 208.5 pounds with a number 16 ranking, and from creator Stephen Feld, introducing Voltarc.
Heavyweight robots have been activated. They are ready to go. In the red square, it is Mortis. The key weapon for Mortis, a titanium lifting arm with the sledgehammer-style blade. And there are some brains behind this beast.
Yeah, certainly created by Rob Knight from Cambridge University. A clever track system will deliver that weapon.
The opponent, an equally dangerous Voltarc. Voltarc has articulated teeth on the lifting bar. His key, getting up and under the opposition.
Yes, he can easily shove other robots around, and we'll see if that strategy works against Mortis.
47-year-old Stephen Feld, the builder and operator of Voltarc. It's not just the power of the robot that counts, but the ability of the driver to control that robot. Felk explains.
Basically, I'm using 3 knobs. I'm using this joystick to steer it left and right, forward and backward. And then this raises and lowers the lifter bar. Now these 3 switches are interesting too, I should add. It's a dual rate. So there's 2 different power ratios on the steering, on the throttle, and then on the lifter bar. So if I'm a real close-in situation and I don't need a lot of speed, I can shift down and have a little more control that way. But normally I run everything full bore.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's kick some butt.
Yeah. Get ready for a collision. Straight on. Good move by Voltarc to avoid the inside. There's the key. Get it up and underneath the opponent, and the sparks fly. They can only hold the opponent for 38 seconds. There's that power titanium knife. Jamming down on Voltarc.
If that axe hits something critical on Voltarc, it'll be all over.
Once again, Voltarc has the ability to get up and underneath Mortis and flips Mortis over.
put in a good burst of strategy at the very end against Voltarc.
He looks disappointed. He feels that maybe
I had it on his side. It was dead.
he should have Steven
Careful,
trying to catch his breath.
Got you, no problem. And I don't want you to leave right away. Okay.
Please be aware of the path.
Okay.
Straight up at the top of this battle, it was Voltarc on the offensive. Aggression, one of the 3 components in the judging of the BattleBots.
He certainly caught Mortis off balance in that first hit.
Watch the hazard.
Mortis up, really has no place to go. No effective offense by Mortis right there. Voltarc, I should say, has Mortis up on its side.
And here's that beautiful maneuver by Mortis, flipping himself back over.
Voltarc dominated this battle. And towards the end of the 3 minutes, we saw the sparks fly as Voltarc put Mortis right into the blades.
Those arena saws are something to behold.
How strong are those saws, Dan?
They're 6 kilowatt motors driving those saws. They can do a lot of damage.
He set him up, and he took him right to the slaughterhouse. Here you go. Bad stats, a very tight fight. Mortis, equal in hits, more weapons damage. So Mortis the winner on the CompuBot stats. But that's not necessarily the key stat. We need to hear from the judges.
The 3 human judges at arena side have turned in a 6-3 decision for the blue square, Voltarc.
So Voltarc does it despite the CompuBot stats. Voltarc is the winner, and Voltarc advances to tonight's semifinals.
So Voltarc showing the aggression on Mortis, surprising everybody. Goes to show you that the most expensive robot may not always be the winner. Some $45,000 in difference. And Steven, you were really aggressive out there. Talk about your driving.
Yeah, I like to be aggressive. I mean, that's, the robot was designed to take a beating and dish out a beating, hopefully. And it went pretty well. It's pretty effective. I got under him, grabbed a hold of him. Wasn't always easy to hold on to him. I think he's got a pretty smooth bottom. But it felt pretty good out there. And those guys put up a great fight. I think it was a really entertaining fight this time.
Now, as you look forward to the next round, have you sustained any damage down here? Is there anything that needs repairing in the next 20 minutes?
Yeah, he's got a lot. He's done a couple dents on the back, basically filing. Everything looks good. The lifter's working fine, which is the key thing. So, and my antennas need replaced. They kind of got mangled when he went over top of me, but that's all expected.
All right, Steven.
Yeah, so I'm in pretty good shape.
Good job.
Yeah,
We'll see you next round.
Okay, Lewis. Hope to see you again.
Okay, Larry.
All right, thanks, Lewis. So it is Voltarc advancing to the semifinals with a victory over Mortis. And for the 22-year-old builder of Mortis, Rob Knight of the United Kingdom, it'll be a long ride home, but you know he'll be back. All right, getting set for the surprise robot of the competition, getting set to take on one of the favorites. It is Punjar taking on Killerhurtz. Coming up next, let's get the word from Mark Barrow.
This is the final quarterfinals event in the heavyweight division. Introducing first in the red square to my right, from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 208 pounds with a number 9 ranking from creator Ramiro Mayari, introducing Punjar. His opponent in the blue square from Oxford and Oxon in the United Kingdom, weighing in at 196.5 pounds with a number 2 ranking, and from the creative mind of John Reed and Dominic Parkinson, introducing Killerhurtz.
2 heavyweight robots in a battle box right now, powered up and ready to go. And will the Cinderella story of Punjar continue? In the red square, we see Punjar, an upset winner of Blendo in the previous round.
Punjar is a veritable punching bag. He's taking beatings from the best robots and still managed to keep coming.
It took 3 months to build Punjar. His opponent, Killerhurtz, one of the favorites, built in 3 years. It has a pneumatic cylinder generating a ton of force, driving an axe, which did not work in its last battle.
Yes, I understand John has fixed that axe, and we should see some spectacular driving ability out of him.
Get ready for the impact. Let's go to Y2K2 to get things started.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. let's kick some butt.
Killerhurtz, the aggressor, runs across the BattleBots to try to inflict a punishment on Punjar. Punjar, Force is the name of the game for Punjar.
Punjar is going to attempt to continuously ram into Killerhurtz, eventually hoping to break something.
There you see here the competition. Killerhurtz, however, from the UK, just a supremely well-tuned machine.
Oh, beautiful robot.
Punjar, though, has him from behind, trying to force him into one of the blades. Good driving by Punjar thus far to stay away from that axe. One ton of force coming down with that axe. Punjar setting up Killerhurtz, taking a run at it. This one down approach from the front, trying to stay away. Has a good bit of leverage right there. Can he get him to the blades?
Sorry, I have to guess here. Killerhurtz drives.
Punjar making a move. One man in his mouth. Good move by Punjar to get Killerhurtz up on the side.
Looks like Punjar's held up on the arena spine.
Killerhurtz needs to get some offense started here. Punjar has been impaled by the spikes. Punjar impaled by the spikes has to wait for the spikes to retreat. Punjar gets past Killerhurtz from behind. That's Killerhurtz. Almost gets him off to the... Now the blades in the play now. Punjar from behind. And the leverage on Killerhurtz once again. Great strategy from Punjar to flip the arm of Killerhurtz.
Yes, he's trying to hit him from behind and from the side where that axe will be no good.
Punjar has great leverage with that front scoop. That's for the slingshot. Flipping the axe once again. Killerhurtz from behind, trying to turn him. Punjar, great driving by Ramiro. 1 minute to go in this battle. This has been a strategic battle. One of the violent battles that we've seen this year. Punjar misses the power shot. I think Killerhurtz is in up against the sidewalls.
He's trying to use his spike to break the shot.
Punjar misses the almost as Killerhurtz flipped over. Punjar taking on the run. Getting set. Is Punjar looking over. Ramiro looking over Punjar lead. The driver of Killerhurtz. Killerhurtz begins to spin. Punjar gets knocked over the spikes. Killerhurtz is still back in there up against the wall. Punjar can't get the shot.
No, he can't. And at this point, he'd be wise to let him go.
This heavyweight battle will go to the judges. And Killerhurtz, if Killerhurtz advances, they're going to have a lot of work to do to get that robot ready.
Yeah, and I think that smoke was a little misleading, and it's likely drive wheels against the ground trying to free himself from the arena spikes.
Cinderella story of Punjar. John Reed smiling. I don't know if he's smiling after the judges' scores are ready. Ramiro Malari, a carpenter from San Francisco, California, took 3 months and $2,000 to put Punjar together. Imagine the impact. Punjar straight ahead at Killerhurtz. Look at that damage.
Fantastic.
Later on in the battle, Killerhurtz was up against the side, couldn't go anywhere. Great driving, great leverage by Punjar. From a different angle. Once again, the scoop-like effect. The wedge of Punjar getting up and under Killerhurtz.
Amazing strength on Punjar.
CompuBot stats clearly in favor of Punjar. 25-5, 9-1 on hits, 8-0 on pushes. Just a tremendous effort by Punjar. There he is, Ramiro Malari. Will his dream continue?
Ladies and gentlemen, the 3 human judges at arena side have scored a 9-0 decision for the red square opponent, Punjar.
Another upset by Punjar. First beating Vlad, now beating Killerhurtz. Punjar appears to have very little damage, superficial at best.
Definitely some scratched paint there.
And the losing robot Killerhurtz sustaining some serious damage 2-inch shells, some punchers. Take a look. Punjar does it again. Let's go to Lewis Johnson. Standing by with the giant killer, Ramiro Malari.
Well, the upsets continue for Ramiro and Punjar all by yourself. I don't know how you do it. Let's go to the videotape and look at the strategy against Killerhurtz. Talk to me about this.
Well, what I'm trying to do is flip him over. I noticed that I'm a little bit on the slow side, I guess maybe from all the beating from Blendo. So what I actually try to do is actually just pin him against the wall and try to flip him over. But it worked out as I was pushing him around that he just simply overheated and got stuck in a corner, so I got the win.
You smelled a little robot blood, I guess, huh?
Yeah. So we're even. He won last time, now I have it.
All right, Ramiro, congratulations. We'll see you in the next round.
Okay, thank you.
Larry, back to you.
Lewis, more disappointment for the crews from Great Britain. John Reed and Team Killerhurtz are eliminated.
Retired in disgrace.
Semifinals are set. It will be Vlad the Impaler going up against Rhino. Then Voltarc against the Cinderella Story Punjar.
All right, we've seen the action. The quarterfinals have been completed in the heavyweight division. It's been exciting. Time now to turn it up a notch. The super heavyweights, maximum weight 488 pounds. And Dan, other than weight, what's the differences between the heavyweights and the super heavies?
Well, Larry, we're going to see a lot more of everything. Beyond weight, we're going to see more powerful weapons, more spectacular crashes, and just a lot more destruction in general.
Talk to me about the power. We saw what happened in the heavyweights. What can we expect from the super heavies?
Well, just because you double the weight, you can usually get 4 times the power out of gas engines and electric motors.
All right, folks, buckle up. A collision about to happen in the battle box. The super heavyweights are ready to collide.
The first matchup will be Slam against Minion. Let's hear from Mark Barrow.
Introducing first in the red square to my right, from Quincy, California, weighing in at 239 pounds with a number 5 ranking, and from the creative father and son team of Lowell and Steve Nelson, introducing Steven and Lowell's Attack Machine, also known as Slam. Its opponent in the blue square from North Hollywood, California, weighing in at 322 pounds with a number 4 ranking, and from creators Christian Carlberg and Jason Bardis, also supported by the team of cool robots, introducing Minion.
You know, Christian Carlberg, the builder of Minion, works in special effects. Kids and adults alike are familiar with his work for Disney. What is the comparison between his full-time job and his hobby, building BattleBots?
What I specifically do for Disney is when you go into a dark ride attraction, there's a huge, incredible set that you go through that gives you the appearance that you're up in the sky or underwater or in some magical land. So what we do at Walt Disney is that we build the creatures and the characters, and we give them life to make it look very convincing, like you're in this strange foreign place. What I do for BattleBots is I take my hobby at home and I make rolling and walking creatures that are mean and also have a lot of life to them.
Super heavyweight time. World Peace has already advanced. Its opponent, Duo, could not get started. So this is for the second berth in the semifinals. First, in the red square, it is Slam. This is a very powerful, dangerous robot, Dan.
It certainly is, especially once it gets spun up with those steel flails whipping around the arena.
Minion, very solid, will not break, but you see a lot of rubber in the blue square of Minion, and I'm sure that's the target of Slam.
Yeah, Christian Carlberg, the designer of Minion, is just as good with the visual appearance of his robot as with the mechanical solidity of it.
These robots are about to collide. Let's get it started. The battle begins with Y2K2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kickbox.
See the chains plus the blades of Slam spinning at 200 miles an hour when it gets up to full speed.
Minion now applying his carbide saws on Slam.
Good move by Minion, showing a lot of power, pushing Slam around right now. Trying to get Slam into those circular saws. He's got him on top. He's got him on top. Oh my goodness, the bottom of Slam is getting torn to shreds. Destruction in the BattleBots.
Minion takes an opportunity to slam him again.
Oh, he's caught up now. Slam in deep trouble. Great strategy by Minion. I don't know if Slam can get going again. He's going to push him right on there again. Check it out. Good move. Oh, Minion almost does himself in. I do believe Slam has some serious mechanical problems. Once again, on top of those rotary blades. We're on top of the blades. And I believe Slam has been incapacitated. The robot is not moving. Still a minute 50 to go in this battle. Minion doing a little showboat right now. And Lowell Nelson disappointed. The driver of Slam. He cannot get his robot moving. Minion showing off. Great drivability, the robot Minion.
Those 6 wheels on Minion give it spectacular control and traction in the arena.
Christian Carlberg, the driver of Minion from Cornell University School of Mechanical Engineering, a master's degree at RPI. He's got some serious great and it shows in his robot Minion.
Yes, Christian's an animatronic and ride engineer for Walt Disney Imagineering.
Special effects designer. And Minion, the winner. Devastating slam on the circular saws. Great strategy and great implementation of the strategy. Taking a look. The deciding factor early on in this battle. You saw Slam. Got him right on the saw. And he did him in right there. The saw just tore up the bottom of Slam. And you know, Dan, in looking at Slam yesterday in the warm-ups, Slam did not have the change. It seemed that the chains might have slowed the robot down.
Sometimes it's that temptation to tinker at the last minute that does everybody in.
Just tinkering sometimes to an excess. And the strategy of Minion was to continue to shred the bottom of Slam.
Excellent control on Minion as well, continuing to push Slam back onto the saws when he tried to exit.
Just a brutal display in the super heavyweight division by Minion. Very happy crew. Minion the winner.
Excellent job.
Drivers of Minion, Christian Carlberg, his partner, Jason Bartis. Just ecstatic. They knew they had gotten it done when Slam went over those blades for the second time. It was over. And the celebration began in the corner of Minion. CompuBot stands certainly in favor of Minion, a dominating performance. Minion got Slam over top of those rotary saws and just shredded the bottom of the robot. Good job by Minion.
Christian Carlberg with the big win. Hey, let's talk strategy. You seem to stay close to Slam, and you also seem to be pushing him over to those saws. Tell me about that.
Well, I knew I had to get close to him real quickly before he spun up, so I actually went in backwards. The teeth are the front of the robot, the bumper's the back. Wanted to hit him hard and then direct him over to the saw blades.
Yeah, there he is right there over to the saw blade. You're trying to keep Slam from getting that force going, and oh my, what happened to him there?
Right there, he's got a braking steer system where he brakes one wheel and he turns one way, so it's a little bit unstable. He's more of a defensive robot. I'm more of an aggressive robot, so I go after him. You want to use the saw blades to kick things up so they lose traction so I can push them all over the place. I have a very strong wheelbase, and as long as you have a really good wheelbase, you can usually maneuver and push your opponents all over the place.
Okay, Kristen, I know you're off to the pits. Congratulations, we'll see you in the next round. Larry, back over to the table.
All right, Lewis, so Minion does a number on Slam and moves on to the semifinals. Minion will take on World Peace. No major damage suffered by Minion. Back to the pits. Time for some fuel and some fine-tuning as the semifinals await. Oh, it's been unique. It's been exciting. It's the World Championships of BattleBots. It will be super heavyweights Abattoir against Ricon. Let's go to Mark Barrow for the official introductions.
Introducing first, in the red corner to my right, from San Anselmo, California, weighing in at 318.5 pounds with a number 8 ranking, and from the creative mind of Ray Scully,
been turned on, these two super heavyweight robots. Great story about Abattoir in the red square. It did not conform during inspections. They worked feverishly overnight to put wheels on the robot, and they succeeded to qualify for this event.
That's a 100-pound bar of steel swung on a titanium shaft.
It's a helicopter blade that will be attacking the blue square and Ricon. Two huge retractable blades. You can't see them there, but they would be devastated if they got a hold of one of those tires.
Yes, could be very clever.
Ready to get the battle going. Let's go to Y2K2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's kick some butt.
All get set, the blade beginning to twirl. And you see Ricon making the quick move. I think it's already disabled Abattoir. Abattoir trying to get it moving now. You got to give him credit for getting the wheels on overnight and making this robot conform.
That's a tough job anywhere, especially not in your own hometown. Finding parts and wheels and new chains and sprockets. They put in a great effort.
Oh, here comes the blades of Ricon. The blades are out. The blades are spinning. He's getting set, seeming to have some drivability problems, though.
Yeah, he looks like he's dead on the right side.
And the blade of Abattoir is not moving. So we have some damage from both of these robots early in this battle. Neither robot aggressive. Ricon having serious drivability problems right now. Abattoir, also known as Blue Thunder, has been incapacitated. The helicopter blade is not functioning. Neither robot doing much. It's going to be a very tough battle to judge. And whoever wins is going to have a hard job in the pits getting his robot started. Some smoke now coming from the engine of Abattoir. What do you see there, Dan?
Well, it looks like his motor's flaming out because it's under just a little too much load.
And Abattoir has gone belly up. Abattoir smoking, the engine is melting. And this might be it. Ray Scully thinking about it, has no place to go. Ricon can't get anything going either. But at least Ricon is moving, so it would seem that Ricon would be declared the winner as the smoke continues to rise from Abattoir. Smoke there, Dan. I think this fight is over. This battle is done. It is done. And the builder, Ray Scully, extraordinarily disappointed. He worked all night to get his robot ready for this competition. It really didn't get much done. Disappointing effort for Ricon and Abattoir. But Ricon, the winner, got to say it's by a robot KO as the engine, the motor of Abattoir burns out. Looking back on this battle, the opening pass, the opening drive is what did it. And he clipped the blade. He clipped the blade there of Abattoir and really incapacitated Abattoir at that point. Put him out of commission, Dan.
Yeah, I seem to have knocked something loose inside of Abattoir.
So Ricon advances, though not impressively, to move on to the semifinals. Ricon a winner, but there is some work to be done in the pits, that's for sure. Builder John McKenzie checking out the mechanics inside his robot. One adjustment, apparently the drive chain came loose during the battle with Abattoir. Work to be done in the pits as Ricon gets ready for the semifinals. And while McKenzie works, others in the pit area have their eyes on the monitors as the last quarterfinal matchup is about to begin. Time for more super heavyweight action, and two of the most imposing, dangerous, and intimidating robots you will ever see. It will be Ginsu against Mechadon. Let's go to Mark Barrow.
Introducing first in the red square to my right from Petaluma, California, weighing in at 282 pounds with a number 3 ranking and creator Trey Roski, supported by Team Lama Motors. Introducing Ginsu. His opponent in the blue square from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 485 pounds and a number 1 ranking from creator Mark
This matchup certainly will be something. It will be violent. Ginsu, the builder, Trey Roski in the red square. Trey Roski, the co-founder of BattleBots, and Ginsu hoping to slice and dice Mechadon.
Larry, there's more blades per square inch on Ginsu than I've ever seen in my life. It's essentially a radio-controlled sawmill.
Builder of Mechadon, 34-year-old Mark Satrakian, getting set, focusing on the opponent, Ginsu. Outside the box, Mark also works some technical magic.
I make creatures for movies. I design the mechanical elements of special effects, animals or people or creatures in films. Last couple of projects, Mighty Joe Young was one that I built the mechanics for his face and puppeteered it. Men in Black was another movie a recent movie that I worked on that had aliens that I did the mechanics and the puppeteering for.
Some in the BattleBot community consider Satrakian a genius. He's a master builder, having worked on the BattleBot for 6 years, and the thrill of competition turns him on.
The first few times that I did this robotic combat, it was just an unbelievable rush to go into the arena and have this sort of life and death struggle. And yet, you're not in any physical danger, but you feel like you are. You feel like you're actually in there. It's remarkable. I mean, I would guess it's the kind of feeling that a professional athlete gets when they're competing at the top of their sport.
Satrakian's film work and robot building go hand in hand, giving him an opportunity to share his talents with others.
One of the reasons why I got into special effects film is I really like making cool things and sharing them with people. And the idea that I can make this robot and people can come and enjoy it with me while I'm playing with it is good. I like that.
Let's get the battle started with Y2K2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kickbox!
Brace yourself now. Mechadon isn't very quick. Look at Mechadon walking across the ring. Right across the floor of the battle. Ginsu inside. Great move by Ginsu.
Mechadon going into a death loss and spin, attempting to break the blades off of Ginsu.
Ginsu suffering some damage already. Pieces of Ginsu have fallen off. We see a piece of something has fallen off, but what is that then?
That's a motor that's fallen off from one of the leg actuators on Mechadon.
You see the front saw blades of Ginsu are being crushed, literally crushed by Mechadon. Ginsu wins 3.
See the amazing torque of Mechadon attempting to strut.
Ginsu back up. It's been uprighted. What a battle so far. So one of the legs of Mechadon has been disabled because they're Ginsu once again. This is incredible.
Ginsu apparently has lost the chain on one wheel now. Doesn't seem to be slowing it down at all.
Ginsu still powerful. Ginsu has been won. Ginsu does not have a self-righting mechanism.
I think that's it for Ginsu.
Now let's see what happens to Mechadon. Mechadon needs to right itself though too.
It will certainly need to do that. I think
Mechadon looking at that range of motion on Mechadon.
he's going to have to find something to grab onto with those sections.
Trying to find a way to right itself. Ginsu is done. Ginsu is not moving, but Mechadon is. If Mechadon continues to move, will it win?
No, he will not. He will have to show translational motion enough to be able to walk to win.
There you see Trey feverishly trying to get Ginsu upright. He's going to have a hard time with it. One of the chains is off one of the wheels of Ginsu. There you see Mark Satrakian trying to get Mechadon upright. Clock winding down. Still a minute to go in this battle. And it's all about Mechadon getting up straight, isn't it?
Yes, there's 14 channels of control in Mechadon. So some possible hits may enable Mark to make Mechadon move in his point.
Might be that the bottom legs were the ones that were damaged. You see off to the side, there's a motor sitting there that came out of Mechadon. Mechadon's still moving, but still not upright. Just any kind of effective movement here?
No, I do not believe so.
Mechadon might have the idea there, pulling those bottom feet in.
If he can shift his balance, he's about to fall over.
Less than 30 seconds to go. Right up against the glass. Mechadon trying to find a way up. I think it's for 15 seconds. Clock winding down. You're right. He needs something to grab onto. 10, there's nothing to grab. 8, 7, 6, 5. The wheels of Ginsu continue to move.
2, 1.
frustration late, as neither one of these super heavyweights could get upright in the final minute of action. Who do you think won that battle?
It's hard to say. There are certainly some pain and suffering dispensed by Ginsu on Mechadon, but he did hold his own.
Trey Roski and Mark Citrakian shaking hands. Great sportsmanship in the BattleBot community. The word from the judges, Mechadon declared the winner by a KO because Ginsu could not continue. Ginsu was not moving at all. Mechadon at least had its arms and legs moving.
Interesting, you can actually see a leg bent inside the radius of another leg on Mechadon due to the enormous hitting force of Ginsu.
You can see them trying to pry the legs apart of Mechadon. See right now, that robot is in no condition to continue living. You see it right there. Pinned inside the one leg is the sharp leg right inside there.
If they're not very careful, they can actually damage Mechadon even further when they extract it.
Just incredible action in the super heavyweight division. Mechadon the winner.
There's Mark Citrakian inspecting the damage on Mechadon.
That robot pushing 400 pounds. It's going to be tough to get it in the pits and repaired. The opening charge by Ginsu was amazing. Too bad he got flipped.
Attempting to come in from the end on Ginsu and push him across the arena where he has no purchase.
And you see the bending of one of the legs. There you see the motor being cut right out from inside of Mechadon. You saw it clearly there. It falls to the left of the screen. That was purely the blades of Ginsu taking a motor right out of the heart of Mechadon.
And Mechadon crushing and attempting to break the motor shafts that drive the blades on Ginsu.
Ginsu was a very well-constructed machine because it escaped the jaws of Mechadon. But maybe it bent that one axle too much. Maybe that was the cause of the flip in the end.
And not only that, okay, here's the problem. We gotta bring this around and free this point.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the three human judges at ringside have turned in a technical knockout for the blue square, Mechadon.
So Mechadon advances with a TKO, a technical disabling of Ginsu. And Ginsu, ironically enough, leading on the CompuBot stats 8-6 at the point that it was flipped and disabled by Mechadon.
All right, Trey Roski and Ginsu with the aggression on Mechadon. Why don't you talk about your strategy there early on?
Well, I know going against Mark Citrakian, he's a mentor to me, and it's always an incredible fight. And I was really nervous going against him. He's got an incredible robot, and it's so big, and it's so bad. I was really worried.
Yeah, but Trey, you didn't drive like you were nervous. It was aggression.
Yeah, I was driving as quick and as good as I can to try to get up there and get him, but just didn't seem to work out this time.
Mark, it looked difficult for you early on. You lost a motor in the match, but you were able to somehow right yourself and win the match in a TKO.
Well, the robot somersaults around. That's what it does. It lost a motor, but it's got 14 of them, so it can spare to lose a couple.
I've watched you in the pits over the last 24 hours working furiously to get it ready. How much damage did you sustain for the next round?
Looks like I've got one motor to reattach, and that seems to be about it, as far as I can tell.
All right, Mark, Trey, great job. Enjoyed the competition. We'll see you back. Larry, back to you.
All right, Lewis, what a battle. Good sportsmanship. The semifinal bracket has been set. It will be World Peace against Minion. Then Ricon takes on Mechadon. The key moment in this quarterfinal matchup, Trey Roski cannot keep Ginsu upright. There you see Mechadon flips Ginsu, and Mechadon advances to the semifinals. Trey Roski and his partner, Greg Munson, the developers of BattleBots. What was once a dream has become a reality.
This is violent, and it's fun, and it's damage, but it's only robots. Humans never get hurt. And what the end result is creativity, because you see these robots, and you want to go build one. So you're not going out and hurting somebody, you're going into the shop and building something. And that's what's really great about it, and that's what we want to catch on.
It's education. You know, it's really a battle of ideas. Although you see the robots in there, it takes an idea to start with. You got to come up with an idea, you got to create that idea. And then you've got to control that idea in battle against somebody else who's doing the exact same thing to beat you.
We want to expose the sport not only in the United States, but all over the world. We want to bring the sport as an educational entity to schools. So kids would build robots. We want to develop lines of products that would encourage robot building, not only just for fun and destruction and the fun of the sport, but also for education, to learn about mechanics and engineering, and then utilize this for the fun sport of robotic combat.
You can compete to the ultimate level, to the death, and still go out and have a beer afterwards. Be best friends.
Yeah, no bones are broken in BattleBots, only bolts.
Years of creativity and technology have culminated in some great competition. We have reached the semifinal round of the heavyweights. Larry Michael and Van Dagnick. Let's take a look. Vlad the Impaler taking on Rhino for a chance to go to the final. Let's go to Mark Barrett.
This is the BattleBots semifinal heavyweight division event. Introducing first in the red square to my right, from Oakland, California, weighing in at 202 pounds with a number 5 ranking, and from creator Gage Cauchois and supported by the team of Vlad Meisters, introducing Vlad the Impaler. Its opponent in the blue square from South Salito, California, weighing in at 208 pounds with a number 3 ranking, and from the creative mind of Alexander Rose, introducing Rhino.
Good as new now. That wasn't the case earlier. The previous battle with Nightmare caused some serious damage to Rhino as that battering ram was snapped off by that wheel spinning at over 300 miles an hour. Like an auto racing pit crew, time is of the essence. Repairs need to be completed in the allotted 20 minutes. Alexander Rose and Team Rhino work against the clock, using any means necessary to rebuild and reload weapons. Hopes of a championship rely on teamwork in the pits. Every person has a job to do. The job at hand right now is getting Rhino healthy and ready for battle. Not only is there damage to fix on the outer shell of Rhino, but most importantly, replacing the main weapon, that pneumatic ram. Without this weapon, Rhino has no shot at victory. Dealing with pressure in the pits could make a difference between winning and losing a championship. Trip to the finals is on the line. Semifinal action in the heavyweight division getting set to begin. The robots are armed and ready to go. In the red square, it will be Vlad the Impaler coming off a very impressive early KO of Biohazard, one of the favorites. Vlad the Impaler on a roll right now.
A very scary and powerful robot, Vlad the Impaler, with an excellent driver at the stick.
Across the battle box in the blue square, looking for a trip to the finals, Rhino. You can see the laser target gun on front. Once again, compressed gas powers that ram.
Rhino also a very solid robot, but that punch might be able to get through the aluminum on the side of Vlad.
Big time collision about to happen. Let's get it started with Y2K2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's kick some butt.
See Rhino moving around to the side, using that ram quickly to score a strong blow. See Vlad the Impaler trying to get that fourth infection going. Lost track. Look at the puncture in the front of Vlad the Impaler.
Just as I was saying, very powerful air punch on the front of Rhino.
Goodness, you can see that hole right there. Once again, big time shot by Rhino. Stalking Vlad the Impaler right now. Another big time shot. Aggressive
deep trouble. Vlad the Impaler
getting lined up.
Once again, takes Rhino. Rhino has freed itself up with a minute to go. Still plenty of time for Rhino to do some damage. Rhino, the has lost a little bit of power. Could there be a gas leak or low on gas?
No, the gas pressure continually reduces.
Big time slam against the glass. Another powerful line. Has Rhino up on one of the corners. This fight might be over.
Vlad is pinning Rhino here. He'll have to release him within 30 seconds.
Rhino dominating the action. But Rhino cannot get righted. Trying with that ram, trying with the spike to cause the momentum to flip the robot straight. Another powerful blow delivered by Vlad the Impaler.
He could have left him on the glass, but he decided to break him free for some more mayhem.
Vlad the Impaler trying to stay away. Time has run out. Time has run out in this battle of heavyweights. Vlad the Impaler and Rhino. Rhino wants a little more though, huh?
I don't know. These guys want to fight.
Just an unpredictable battle of heavyweights. At first it looked like Rhino might have the upper hand, puncturing the armor of Vlad the Impaler. Big time comeback by Vlad. Crowd just loving the action. You see the antenna of Vlad the Impaler being retracted by the builder, Gage Kushwa. Vlad the Impaler sizing up Rhino. Got him up, got him on the edge, pushed him up against the side. Good strategy, good maneuverability. Again, Vlad the Impaler doing a number on Rhino.
Attacking Rhino from the side was excellent strategy by Vlad.
Conclusion of this battle once again. Vlad sized up Rhino, got him up on the edge, got him up on the side, stopped the robot completely. Vlad the Impaler, a very impressive performance, looking to gain a berth in the finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the three human judges at arena side have turned in a 9-0 decision for the red square, Vlad the Impaler.
It's a shot for Vlad the Impaler. Taking a look at the CompuBot stats, a dominating performance by Vlad the Impaler. The numbers tell the story.
Vlad the Impaler was constantly on the aggressive, and I don't think Rhino ever had a chance to recover.
A no contest, a shutout, 9-0 victory for Vlad the Impaler, who advances to the finals of the heavyweights. Punjar and Voltarc in the other semi, and unlike other competitors' four-man pit teams, Ramiro is a one-man crew. He has no pit crew, a sure disadvantage when it's crunch time for repairs in the pits.
Your magic continues, upset after upset. Ramiro, you're by yourself trying to manage this machine. How excited are you now to be back in the competition?
Well, I always try to do my best to compete against this robot combat, but I'm glad they are giving me a chance to get back in there, because I'd like to go as far as I can, and if they give me a chance, I'll push this machine as far as they could go.
So who will join Vlad the Impaler in the heavyweight final? Will it be Voltarc, or will somehow Punjar keep it going? We're going to find out in a moment. Here's Mark Barrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the winner of this contest advances to the championship finals. Introducing first in the red square to my right, from San Francisco, California, in the heavyweight division, weighing in at 208.5 pounds with a number 16 ranking, and from the creative mind of Stephen Feld, introducing Voltarc. Its opponent in the blue square from San Francisco, California, also in the heavyweight division, weighing in at 208 pounds with a number 9 ranking, from Korea creator Ramiro Mayari, introducing Punjar.
Two heavyweight robots have been powered up. A chance for the finals on the line in this battle. In the red square, it is Voltarc, who has been very, very impressive with that lifter bar that has those teeth.
Built like a fine piece of furniture, it's held together through fight after fight today.
Punjar, across the battle box in the blue square, has really had to go through a lot of maintenance to make it to this semifinal. What chance does he have?
It's certainly taken a beating, but Ramiro may regret not having armored the bottom of Punjar for this particular fight.
Well, we're ready to do battle. Let's go to Y2K2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's kick some butt.
Punjar. Huge collision to get this one started. Once again, Punjar might have what it takes to upset Voltarc on his way to the final.
Especially if he can catch him from the side and put him up on an edge. He'll be all over.
He's got Voltarc on the edge right now, trying to work him into those saws. Now Voltarc turns around and Punjar turns it right back again.
These are very difficult to drive, especially with the excitement of being on stage and the lack of sleep that many of these competitors have.
Oh, good move by Punjar. Has the leverage again. Cannot work. Voltarc almost into the saws. Oh, look at this one. This caught Voltarc caught by the saws. Voltarc having a hard time establishing a cushion in this battle. Somehow gets away.
Amazing amount of tone with Punjar.
Voltarc embedded on the spikes of the battle box, having a hard time getting off. Once again, good damage to Voltarc. Has an armature underneath. Punjar has a pin.
If this damages something inside of Punjar, it'll be all over.
He's trying to work him over to the saws and trying to on the saws. He's inches away from those saws. Can he get him? Good move by Punjar. Look at the shards of metal being sprayed. Slicing right through the body of Punjar.
Now, I'll have to release him in about 20 seconds.
The rules of BattleBots, you can only put your opponent for 30 seconds. But do huge damage to Punjar. Oh, now he's got something caught in the tooth of that blade. Might have disabled that blade. They're locked up right now. Neither robot, now the blades are back. Doing the move on the backside of Punjar. Once again, knocks that blade out. Great work by Voltarc. Oh, you can see the bottom. You can see the bottom of Punjar coming out. He has been totally disabled. Take a look. You can see it hanging right there.
Excellent strategy. Well, that is his drive system. I believe it's shock mounted in there to absorb those enormous blows that he can deliver.
Tremendous demonstration by Punjar.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This battle is over.
BattleBots time.
Well, it would seem that the Cinderella ride of Punjar has come to a conclusion in the semifinals.
Some fantastic driving by Stephen Feld with Voltarc.
Ramiro Malari, a little concerned. Stephen Feld, great comeback. And you got to give it to Ramiro for getting this far in the competition.
Oh, it's certainly taken a beating, Punjar has, but it continues to come back and dish it out.
Real sign of concern on the face of Ramiro. This robot absolutely sliced up the back by those circular saws. And you can see the bottom of Punjar hanging there. Did he rip through some bolts that might have held his drivetrain in there?
It looks more like they're actually intertwined inside.
Punjar had a fast
start in this battle. Voltarc turned it around early, though. It was Punjar using its brute force, getting the leverage, getting a good run on Voltarc.
And you see Voltarc extending its arm to try to cushion the blow against the wall at that point.
Stephen Felk doing a great job of driving Voltarc. Voltarc got Punjar, got the leverage, maneuvered him towards the blades, did a great job. There you see it. Just ripping the guts out of Punjar.
Using those deadly arena hazards to your advantage can make the key to success or failure.
Oh, look at that slice. Look at that clean cut by those saws. What is the material that Punjar is made of that's getting sliced?
That's diamond plate aluminum, very vulnerable to those arena saws.
Oh, there you see underneath how the saws get locked up. What's that locked onto the saw right there, Dan?
Oh, it just looks like the edge of the protective shell has gotten in between the teeth.
BattleBot stats all the way for Voltarc after a slow start in which Punjar had the leverage, took a couple runs at Voltarc. Voltarc wins going away 31-9 on the BattleBot stats.
The three human judges had scored a 9-0 decision for the red square, Voltarc.
Stephen Felk, the driver, builder of Voltarc, he is a happy man. His robot is in the heavyweight fight.
And Voltarc doing much damage to Punjar, now being sliced on those titanium blades inside the battle box. And Stephen, you knew that was the weakness for Punjar underneath. Talk about your strategy there.
He has no belly pan at all, so all his stuff is really exposed. So here again, my approach was to just get under him, grab a hold of him. And actually in the last match, I had a realization at one point when I grabbed a hold of Mortis. And I realized once I had a hold of him, I don't have to do anything. You know, he's mine. I could do whatever I want with him. So I slowly meandered him around. I used that same philosophy with Punjar. Once I got a hold of him, I calmed down and figured he's mine. I get to do what I want with the guy. So that was the thing. So I dragged him over the blades, moved him around a little bit, and tried to do as much damage as possible. So.
All right, now I know your heart is beating because it's the World Championship in the heavyweights now. Vlad the Impaler,
Yeah.
20 minutes to get ready for him.
Yeah. 20 minutes. I got to get my battery charged, but I think it'll be another great match. We're pretty well matched for each other. We're both big, heavy robots with lifters. So,
okay,
yeah.
we'll let you go and get back to the pit.
Thanks a lot, Lewis.
All right, Larry.
Thank you, Lewis. The heavyweight final has been set. It will be Vlad the Impaler going up against Voltarc for the first ever heavyweight world championship of BattleBots.
So now the action continues in the super heavyweight division. It's time for the semifinals. The winner here advances to the world championship battle. It'll be World Peace going up against Minion.
Introducing first, in the red square to my right, from Benicia, California, weighing in at 265 pounds, from the creative team of Dave and Greg Campbell, and also supported by Team Bohica, introducing the super heavyweight World Peace. His opponent in the blue square from North Hollywood, California, weighing in at 322 pounds with a number 4 ranking and created by Christian Carlberg and supported by Cool Roberts' team. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing super heavyweight Minion.
So the super heavyweight robots have been powered up. Semifinal action getting ready to begin. In the red square, we have World Peace. World Peace drew a bye in the quarterfinals. It's powered by gasoline with a strong hydraulic action.
Yes, an enormous amount of power and force can be generated by that hydraulic pressure unit.
And it's got a tough opponent in the blue square, Minion. A quick KO of Slam in the quarterfinals. Those blades up front are very, very dangerous.
I think Christian's going to try to stay away from that pincher as much as he can and hope he can cause some damage on World Peace.
The battle is about to begin. Let's go to Y2K2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's kickbox.
Minion, a very strong machine. Very maneuverable. World Peace. Lightly colored. Looking for position. Good maneuvering. Minion trying to get those blades in position. Right now has a good shot on the backside. Oh, World Peace. World Peace in the BattleBots right now.
You can see the advantage of having a 6-wheel drive robot versus a 4-wheel drive from a maneuverability.
World Peace misses on a pass at Minion. Minion seems much more maneuverable. World Peace trying to stay away. Minion with the good saw action. Coming up the backside of World Peace. World Peace pinned up again. Almost a total flip by Minion.
Minion appears to be attempting to attack the on-off switch at the back of World Peace.
World Peace really has not had an aggressive move yet in this battle. Having a hard time with the move for a moment. There he's got Minion on the side. Good move by World Peace. Minion trying to get those saws into place, trying to push. World Peace on the running saws. Just gets out of the way. He's got a strategic matchup that's fine. Oh, good time sparks go flying.
Well, that's gotta hurt.
As World Peace didn't really keep track of where it was. Minion almost with the blades itself. World Peace has a piece of Minion, has a piece of one of Minion's tires. It's bringing it over the saws.
No, he's broken a chain on the right side of Minion.
Good work by World Peace. Can he drag World Peace over the saws? He's got him in position, World Peace. Trying to get Minion onto those rotary saws to wreak some havoc on the body of Minion.
They're in a death grip.
World Peace has great position. So now, Minion spinning World Peace into position. It's a standoff right now.
Minion has to be very careful not to burn out its drive motors at this point.
Minion trying to get World Peace up on the spikes. Minion has done it.
Still drivable, even with one chain dangling from the front of Minion.
Oh, once again, World Peace almost gets those jaws around Minion. Minion, 45 clips of blades with 45 to go. This is a great battle.
Oh, this is fantastic. Excellent redundant systems on Minion, keeping it going and keeping the aggression high.
Minion trying to get in position to put seconds to spikes. World Peace trying to make a final move. Less than 30 seconds to go. See the chain on the back left tire of Minion just hanging. Oh, bad driving by World Peace. It itself on the spikes. World Peace has to get off those spikes.
9, 8, 7,
I don't think
6,
he can.
5,
World Peace might have been incapacitated by those spikes.
Doesn't appear to be able to move.
BattleBots
Minion
time.
continues to do donuts in the BattleBots, and the battle is over. Who won that battle, man?
Oh, I'm sure it was Minion. He was still able to move at the end of the fight.
Good effort by World Peace, driven by Dave
We don't know
Campbell,
for sure. We've sort of stuck in a
hydraulic repair engineer, Christian Karlberg, and his partner Jason Barnes, very happy in the corner of Minion. Early on in this battle, World Peace had some good leverage, a good angle on Minion. See World Peace just laying up against the side. It elevated itself. What was the purpose of that move by World Peace?
I think it was a miscue on its own hydraulic unit, and it opened the door for Minion to go in and try to flip it.
World Peace did a good job getting those jaws attached to the side. There you see the chain go flying through the air, just ripped right through the chain of Minion.
An excellent tactical shot by World Peace.
Minion in the jaws of World Peace. But as this battle unfolded, Minion got World Peace over on the spikes. Actually, World Peace drove itself onto the spikes, and that was the end of World Peace. Minion's going to have some fixing to do in the pits if, in fact, Minion was victorious.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 3 human judges at arena side have turned in a 6-3 decision for the blue square, Minion.
So Minion wins it 6-3 over World Peace to advance to the BattleBot Super Heavyweight Championship battle. CompuBox stats tell the story. Minion dominating, especially in the hazards damage area.
Exceptionally aggressive.
Christian Karlberg struggles a little bit with Slugger, but does well with Minion. Now, you've got redundant systems on here. Explain how you're able to lose a chain, but continue to compete.
Okay, well, I've built other robots with redundant systems. I know they work. Basically, I lost 2 chains. I lost the drive weapon here, but I lost this chain here. And this is a bad chain to lose because I lose these 2 wheels, but I didn't lose this chain right here. And I was still moving. I still had drive here.
Now, do you have the parts back in the pit area to get this fixed to come back out and compete for the championship?
It'll look like new.
Christian Kahlberg. Larry?
All right, Lewis, so Minion is one of our finalists victorious over World Peace, though Minion has some serious damage that needs to be addressed in the pit area. Minion will take on the winner of Ricon and Mechadon. And as we look back, there is Mechadon. At least one of the 14 motors in Mechadon was damaged in the battle with Ginsu. Let's listen in.
The motor that Peter over there is working on right now is not very seriously damaged. The one, however, that I'm working on, the damage is unknown, and that's always scary when you don't exactly know what the problem is, because then you don't know exactly how to fix it and you can't jump right on it.
So there are questions as to whether Team Sinister can get Mechadon operating in time for the semifinal. Mark Satrakian tapping into all of his knowledge, trying to get things squared away within the allotted 20 minutes.
Hey, Mark, if it happens, I'll let you know. Okay. But I still don't even know what the problem is. Okay. So, no. We're trying to work with you. I know, we're out until then. Come at the last moment.
Control chaos in the pits for Mechadon. Time is running out. Can they come up with an answer within the allotted time?
So, anyway, it's fixable, but not here. Not 10 minutes. Okay. So, all right. We'll go on. Okay. That's where you stand, monkey boy. Sorry. Oh my God. The brakes. Can have a less complicated robot. Next time I'll bring a wedge made of plywood. How about that?
Well, this is where the 20-minute time limit shows no mercy. Mark, you couldn't get Mechadon back together. Talk about what it was that made it impossible to compete in the final.
Well, Mechadon has 14 servo actuators, and 12 of those are out where we can get to them, and 2 of them, which weigh 40 pounds apiece, just the gears weigh 40 pounds apiece, are buried deep inside the mechanism, and something in there has let go. I'm not sure whether it's the drive pinion or a key on the drive pinion, but it's so far into that robot that getting to it within this time period is just not going to be possible.
So the super heavyweight final has been lined up. It will be Minion going up against Ricon as Mechadon cannot continue. Las Vegas has been the site of many great battles and championships, but never one like this. All right, time to view history as it happens. The first ever World Championship on the line in the heavyweight division for the BattleBots. It will be Vlad the Impaler going up against Voltarc. Let's hear from Mark Barrow.
This event is for the BattleBots World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing the principals first in the red square to my right from Oakland, California, weighing in at 202 pounds with a number 5 ranking and created by Gage Cauchois and supported by a team of Ledmeisters, introducing Vlad the Impaler. Its opponent in the blue square from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 208.5 pounds with a number 16 ranking and created by Stephen Falk, introducing Voltarc.
Days of preparation, hours in the shop. Certainly mentally fatigued are the drivers as we get set for the heavyweight championship. In the red square, it is Vlad the Impaler, impressively getting into the final with a 9-0 shutout victory.
Well, Vlad's really put up a good fight for all of his day today, and I think he's going to have a tough time trying to get those spikes into any part of Voltarc.
Strategically, probably the best robot in the heavyweight division in the competition has been Voltarc.
But he is an exceptional driver, so he may be able to outdrive Vlad in this case.
Dan, what's your prediction for this heavyweight championship?
Well, I'm really going to have to go with Voltarc due to the exceptional driving skill he's exhibited.
Let's get it on. Let's go to Y2K2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's kick some butt.
Voltarc making the fast move straight ahead. And Vlad the Impaler has flipped Voltarc. Now he waits him. I don't know. Is Voltarc okay?
Well, I think if Vlad lets him in that position, he'll be dead. Now that he's high centered. Oh, there we go.
Vlad the Impaler going to make another run. Let's see if he switches around. Voltarc up against him. Glass.
No, just to leave him standing. He wants the carnage.
Destruction. He wants total destruction.
Vlad has put one of his pinchers inside the wheel tray of Voltarc.
Truly has impaled Voltarc right now. Oh, he's going to bring him over to the saws. He's going to bring him over to the saws. Oh, up against the side again.
Mixing that pincher around inside of Voltarc, trying to break something.
Oh, another slam up against the side. Punishing performance by Vlad the Impaler. Oh, he's going to bring him against the saw. He's bringing him to the saw. Off to the side. This has been a tremendous performance by Vlad the Impaler in the championship.
I don't see any way Voltarc's getting out of this fight without being a few pounds lighter.
Over the weapon again. Voltarc is really struggling right now. Voltarc really has very little life.
Not many choices for Voltarc.
Voltarc is absolutely helpless. He is at the mercy of Vlad the Impaler. Now Vlad the Impaler slowing up a bit. Looking Voltarc up again. Let's see where he takes him. Spinning him around. The Impaler doing a tremendous job in this championship. The Impaler setting up the saws again. I think the Impaler might be having some drivability problems right now.
Well, there's a huge overhung load on one side of Impaler named Voltarc.
This championship has been all Vlad the Impaler. BattleBots next, 27-3 in favor of Vlad. Just a dominating performance here in the final with 30 seconds to go. He's got himself on the saws now.
Aluminum shavings flying across the arena.
Goodness gracious. Just devastation. Again. The abuse on the inside right now. Again over top of the saws. To top things off. There he is, the winner, Gage Chakwan. It would appear that Vlad the Impaler has taken home the championship. We'll have to wait for the official ruling from the judges. But clear domination in the BattleBots. Vlad the Impaler got up and underneath Voltarc early, and that's all she wrote. From the beginning, it was Vlad the Impaler, and Voltarc never really got anything going. Let's take a look. Vlad the Impaler was waiting for Voltarc to make the first move.
Subtle strategy by Vlad there by not moving.
Flip Voltarc up now, and once again, just power driving the robot into the side of the BattleBots. He got that lift up underneath, under one of the tires, and this was incredibly impressive, dangerous, violent. Take a look, right over top of the saws, causing his own robot damage to inflict the blow.
Fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the three human judges at ringside have turned in a 9-0 decision for the winner in the Red Square and BattleBots Heavyweight champion, Vlad the Impaler.
Vlad the Impaler gets the trophy with Trey Roski.
And the runner-up, Voltarc and Stephen Felk. Real good job by them. Take a look at the CompuBot stats. Overwhelmingly in favor of Vlad the Impaler. Dominating every single category. Look at the hazards damage. 11-1, 34-3. Vlad the Impaler wins. Congratulations to the builder and driver, Gage Cashwa.
So it is Vlad the Impaler, the world champion in the heavyweight division. Standing by with the winner is Lewis Johnson.
All right, we've got Gage here with his new World Championship trophy. You came in ranked 5th. Did you ever imagine you could come in and win this first BattleBots competition?
Oh, not a chance. Not a chance. I thought I'd come in second, maybe, if I was lucky. But.
Well, talk about the excitement for a moment. You spent, it's an idea, thousands of dollars, many hours. What does it mean to win the championship with this?
It's very exciting. It's very exciting. I'm very proud of myself and Vlad the Impaler. Vlad held up until the very end, and I think it's damaged now. But
yeah, Gage, you know, you come across as being so nice, but you were vicious in your driving at the talk about the attack mode that you were in immediately against Vlad.
Well, I like to attack right away and end it as soon as possible. It saves on wear and tear.
Okay. All right, great job. World champion, BattleBot. We'll see you the next time. Larry.
Champion robot, Vlad the Impaler, the champion builder, Gage Cashwa. He rules the heavyweights.
Once again, Las Vegas excited. It's time for the Super Heavyweight World Championship in BattleBots. Minion against Ricon. Earlier in the semifinal, you'll remember World Peace did major damage to Minion, ripping 2 of its drive chains. So a lot of work to be done by Christian Karlberg in the pits to get Minion ready for a chance at the championship. We've seen it before in the competition, how important teamwork is in the pit area. Remember, 20 minutes maximum to repair any robot. Time running out on Minion. The pressure beginning to build. The championship, in fact, is on the line right now as they try to repair Minion.
Your 20-minute time limit's almost up. You guys got to go.
With the clock winding down, final repairs being made. Can they make it? Will they make it in time? Ricon awaits in the battle box.
Time.
Back here in the pits, Trey has just called time. Christian Karlberg bringing Minion out, putting the bolts on as they make their way down to the battle box, hoping that the repairs on Minion will be good enough to hold up for the championship. As they make their way into the arena, Christian Karlberg is holding a chain in his hand, trying to repair Minion, getting him into the ring for this World Championship final. Unbelievable how the team has gelled together to try and fix the problem. 6 people with seconds left before the final.
All right, Lewis crawling their way to the battle box. Christian Karlberg trying to fix Minion. Time running out with the pocket knife. Trying to tighten that chain. One last twist. They're going to give it a go. Will Minion be 100%? Ready or not, Minion enters the battle box for the World Championship.
Time has come to decide the super heavyweight world champion in the BattleBot world. Minion having a hard time getting the damage repaired in the necessary time frame. It will be Minion going against Ricon. Let's go to Mark Barrow for the official introductions.
Introducing in the red square to the right, from North Hollywood, California, weighing in at 322 pounds with a number 4 rank, and from creator Christian Karlberg and supported by Team Cool Robots, introducing Minion. Go Minion! Its opponent in the blue square from Ukiah, California, weighing in at 305.5 pounds with a number 6 ranking from creator John McKenzie, introducing Ricon.
Time for the Super Heavyweight World Championship to be decided. I'm Larry Michael, Dan Danknick. First in the red square, a very heavily damaged Minion. They just got the job done for the start of this battle.
Yes, it's very difficult to turn these robots around in 20 minutes, and often more hands in the pot does not make for faster work.
Ricon as well suffered a lot of damage in the preliminary rounds. How do you think it will do?
Well, I hope it's going to hold its own, but I'm definitely going to have to go with Minion on this one.
Dan likes Minion. Let's get this battle started. Let's go to Y2K2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kickbox.
Ricon taking a quick jamming on the front of Minion. Minion's saws are not working up front there. They're not working early.
It does not appear that they were able to start their gasoline engine to power those saws.
So let's see what Minion can do. You can see the front of Ricon already heavily damaged. Ricon works his way onto the spikes. Not a good move. Ricon circling around.
Minion definitely has the torque in this fight.
Ricon has those blades though, and those blades are moving nicely. Ricon trying to work its way into position to push Minion into the saw blades. Been a battle of attrition so far. Both of these robots have been heavily damaged in the preliminary rounds. Just not enough time to get them back to 100%.
Yes, it's very difficult to replace parts that are broken, motors that are burned out, batteries that are dead.
But they are in the finals. Minion trying to set up Ricon, who puts itself on top of the spikes. It impales itself, so to speak. Once again, Minion trying to work Ricon on top of the spikes. Even without the blades, Minion doing a great job. There, one of the blades from Ricon, causing sparks to fly as it flips one of those spikes. It's midway through this championship battle. Ricon doesn't appear to have very good mobility right now. The saw blades are still working, but Minion trying to work Ricon over to the saw blades, the weapons in the floor of the battle box. Oh goodness, the impaling has taken place. Ricon right on top of those spikes. Now we see a chain has become dislodged again on Minion.
Chains are frequently the weak point on these robots. You can also see there's a chain dripping on the bottom of Ricon.
1 minute remaining.
Both of these robots suffering serious damage here in the final. Less than 50 seconds to go. Ricon with very little mobility. Minion trying to push Ricon back. Look at those saw blades locking into each other. Good push by Minion.
Fantastic.
Ricon has the saw blades working, but no mobility. Minion, the exact opposite.
Remaining.
Great mobility, but the saw blades are dead.
He's going to try to use the arena hazards to his advantage. That's what he can.
Minion working. Ricon onto the saw blades. Oh! Whoops. Ricon. Now Minion almost flipped onto the saw blades. Ricon had the angle. Minion and Ricon locking up. Closing seconds of the Super Heavyweight Championship.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. BattleBots time.
Wow, what do you say about that battle for the World Championship and the Super Heavyweight division?
Both of these robots spend a lot of time trying to get into position, but their weapons never seem to land very well on each other.
Dan, put yourself into the judge's seat. Who was the winner in aggression?
I'm going to have to go with Minion, since he was continually trying to run in and push Ricon into the arena hazards.
Which robot suffered the most damage?
Self-inflicted damage on Minion as well.
All right, so then strategy, you'd have to go with Minion as well.
Yes.
Battle of attrition here. In the finals of the Super Heavyweight division, we saw Minion trying to get its stuff together before the battle. Didn't quite get it done, but did it do enough to win? Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the 3 human judges at ringside have turned in a 7-2 decision for the winner and World BattleBots Super Heavyweight Champion in the red square, Minion!
It wasn't brute force, it wasn't the weaponry, it was the strategy and maneuverability of Minion.
that brought Minion home the World Championship in the Super Heavyweight division.
Introducing the World Champion, Minion!
Minion gets it done. In the World Championship final here at the BattleBots World Championship.
Good job.
Good job. A lot of repair work to be done to Minion, but Minion is the champion. On the CompuBot stats for the championship battle between Minion and Ricon, very close, Dan.
Very, very close. Christian Karlberg holding his world championship in the trophy for the super heavyweight division, and I can only remember you coming down from the pit. It looked like you weren't going to make it.
You know what? It was really close. We had a lot of work to do. World Peace did a number on us, but we still kicked their butt, and we came back and we kicked their butt as well. But it was close. We had a lot of work, and unfortunately, when you rush things aren't exactly what you want. So we had some trouble in the beginning, but I was still able to put up a good fight. I was still able to push them around and score some damage.
Now, you have an engineering degree, you have a great team of intelligent people behind you, but is this a sport for anybody or everybody to compete in?
It is a sport for anybody and everybody to compete in. There's going to be a lot of people at home that are thinking right now, hey, I could do this, and they can. They just have to get started. Start with the 50-pounders, 100-pounders, then maybe you can work your way up to a 325-pounder. That's what I did.
All right, Christian, congratulations on your world championship. We'll see you at the next BattleBot competition. Larry.
All right, Lewis Johnson, great job tonight. A great job as well by Team Cool Robots as they got it done in the pits, getting Minion ready for the championship, and Christian Karlberg and crew take home the trophy. The sport of the future is here today, and the first ever super heavyweight world champion is Minion. It's time now for the BattleBots Rumble, a free-for-all with robots from the heavyweight division. The goal, create havoc and survive.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, kickbox.
Yeah, let him go.
congratulations to Biohazard and builder Carlo Bertacchini, the winner of the BattleBots Rumble.
Well, we thought this would be the sport of the future, and it was. BattleBots, exciting, unpredictable, just absolutely awesome.
Yeah, what we definitely saw was that some of the most aggressive-looking robots were overwhelmed with cunning and speed and agility in the arena.
And you know, next time, if Y2K2 doesn't keep his mouth shut, I've got something for him.
Oh. Ouch! Bart!
Why, you little... For Dan Danknick and Lewis Johnson, I'm Larry Michael saying goodnight from Las Vegas, Nevada. And once again, congratulations to the new World Heavyweight Champion, Gage Cashwa and Vlad the Impaler. And also the new Super Heavyweight World Champion, Christian Carberg and Minion.
This is Y2K2, reminding you till next time to kick some butt.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kickbox. Yeah.
remaining. 1 minute remaining. Seconds remaining. 15 seconds remaining. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cable. Cable.
Ladies and gentlemen, you choose the winner. You choose the winner by your applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Heavyweight Royal Rumble winner is World Peace! Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all of us involved in BattleBots, thanks for coming, and good night, everybody!
Hey, the pin didn't fail, the collar failed first. Oh, no shit, Edgeworth.